Perhaps you wanted to like scale or rotate or translate this object in specific ways. So I know that this cube is on this graph looking surface, but if I translate it, I may not be able to like directly have it on this surface, or if I rotate this, I may not be able to have the rotated exact 90 degrees. How do I know this? Well, there's a solution for this. So if you press Control as you either rotate or translate, you'll see that it has like this own grid kind of movement. So especially when you rotate, if you press Control as you rotate this cube or any object, you'll see it has like this grid movement that allows you to just rotate 90 degrees. You'll see how the line is perfectly matched with the cube. However, in cases that you need to view your object in serious ways, you can always actually use the view panel. Actually, if you have the number slot or the number keys on the right side of the keyboard, you can actually always use number 5 to have this orthographic view. So if you press 1 or 7 or 3, you'll be able to have a view of the sideways or the top. This is useful because every time you edit, you can actually view the sides with this grid, and this always lets you able to move your objects or rotate your objects. However, rotating, it just works in 3D view, not these flat views. When translate, it's good for you since it has these grids. You'll notice these small grids you'll see on the screen, and as you translate, you'll notice that this follows the grid scales. For ones who doesn't have the keyboard on the side, I'll tell you how to do this. So when you go on this panel, you see View, and from here, you're supposed to find the View, Perspective, or Ortho. It says just orthographic, but it says just as ortho. It says it's number pad 5. So you can actually click this, and you have the orthographic view. So here, I told you that you can see up or the sides of any side of the cube, but without the keys, you can always do this also. Again, go into view. Then you can see left, right, back, front, bottom, and top. Actually, I told you that there's this camera. So when you want to see the camera, you can always press 0 on the right of the number pad. And if you select the camera, you can actually select the camera from the camera view if you press this rim here. And as you translate, you just need to do the same thing till you move the camera. However, if you don't have the number pad again go to view and press camera. Simple. Oh, and by the way, I'll tell you how to make your objects return to where they were. So let's say I have this object in a messed up position. This object is scaled and rotated, and I don't know the exact coordinates of the translation. So I'll tell you how to fix this. In your keys, press Alt and G. I don't know why it's G, but G for the translation. Then all the values will go back to 0, which is right in the middle of this surface. So Alt G. It comes back to its original position. And also you can do the same thing to rotation. However, rotation is just R. So press Alt R. You'll see that the rotation is fine. And the Q used to be smaller. So again, let's return the scale back to values that it was before. Actually, for the scale, it just returns it to 1, because if you have this, if the scales are 0, 0, 0, you'll just see a dot. Yeah, first dimensional, and you don't want that. So Blender automatically returns the values into 1. X1, Y1, and Z1. So Alt S for scaling, Alt S. Come back to 1, 1, 1. If you want to view like the special size or how much your cube has moved or rotated, then you can back to this panel over here. You'll see this yellow box, and this is called the object panel. If you click this, you'll see the name of this object. In this case, it's cube 1, 001. But you can actually rename it into like or potato or anything. So you'll see this location is 0, rotation values are 0, and the scale values are 1. And so if you scale it up again, you'll see the scale has increased. And again, if I move this, you'll see the y-axis has changed, z-axis has changed, and x-axis has changed. Even if you rotate, you'll see that this also changes. Actually, you can actually change it using this panel over here. This is very useful when you're trying to move, especially the camera. This is a good option for the camera, especially when you go back to camera view, 0, or the camera view in view. If you go to camera view, you can actually use this panel to move the camera or even rotate it. Actually, I recommend you not to do scaling on the cameras, because if you scale the camera too much, it's gonna show you the opposite side of the scene. So yeah, please don't do that.